Sponsored in part by WormsWay.com, hydroponics and organics, indoor and outdoor gardening. Garden anywhere, garden anytime. Stores conveniently located in Tampa, Florida, Erlanger, Kentucky, St. Louis, Missouri, Bloomington, Indiana, Sutton, Massachusetts, Nashville, Tennessee, and always at WormsWay.com. Welcome to Growing Indoors. I'm Joy Baird.
And I'm Holly Baird.
And today it's time to get our hydroponic system set up, as well as the comparison that we're doing.
So we have this WaterFarm here. It's a general hydroponics water farm. So we got that set up here, and we're going to get it set up. And one thing that you need is you need an air pump. So we have this air pump, and that's this right here. And then everything else that you need comes with it, and then you also need the clay pebbles as well.
Now the difference between hydroponics and aquaponics is hydroponics, we're using the water and adding nutrition to it, or nutrients to it. In an aquaponics system, you have fish in a separate area that water that the fish is swimming in gets pumped through to the root system, and then it gets cycled back to the fish. So you don't have to add any nutrients to that system. But in both systems, you're going to have to check the pH, because if you don't have a good pH level, your plants and or your fish will die.
And it's in the aquaponics system, the nutrients are fed because of the fish waste. So that's how.
So first of all, if you want to see where we're at in our Growing Indoors series, all the links will be in the show notes for all the previous episodes, from the materials we're using, how to plant the seedlings to get them started, getting the grow room set up, planting some of the some of the plants that we've already got planted. Today we're going to get a comparison. And Holly, you talk about the comparison that we're doing with the pepper plants here.
So we decided to go with the pepper plants to do a comparison. First, we're going to grow in a grow bag, and we're going to compare that to growing in the water farm. And we're just going to see, which one does stronger. They're the same kind of pepper. We started the seeds the same.
California Wonder sweet peppers.
Yeah, California Wonder sweet peppers. And we're just going to see what one kind of goes better, what the challenges are, just do a comparison.
And we'll show you our failures if we have them.
And what we did to prep the cocoa core is we added the plant success soluble for the living soil and strong roots. So we already put that in there to prep it.
Now, for those who may be uncertain of what that is, that adds microbial bacteria, the life, to the cocoa core, so the plants will grow.
And it helps the roots, encourage them to take up the upgrowth of the nutrients as well.
So we're going to get ahead and select the two largest peppers that I have here. We're going to extract them out of the soil. We're going to plant one in the cocoa core, and then we will get all of our hydroponic system set up prior to planting it. So pretty simple. Just we're going to take it on the top of a bucket lid here and gently extract them. There we go. Out of the... And we allow the soil to dry out slightly so we can pull the roots apart very easily. Now with a pepper, you can plant it slightly deeper than where it was in the container. But unlike the tomato, it will not put roots up. If you bury it all the way to the top of the true leaves there, you're going to suffocate the plant. The plant's going to die. So what you want to do is you can bury it just slightly. It will put a few more roots on at the base, but not many. So again, we've already treated the soil here with the soluble solution, and we're just going to bury the pepper plant slightly below where it was. And that's as easy as it is to plant in the cocoa core. Now we're going to go through the steps on how to prepare our hydroponic system. It may seem complicated at first, but once you understand the basis of it, it becomes very easy.
Okay, so when we set this up, it comes with these really nice instructions with pictures, very step-by-step, easy to read. So we got it all set up, and now we are ready to go ahead and we're going to put the clay pebbles in there.
Now one thing I will recommend is take these clay pebbles, we've opened them up, we've rinsed them off. There's a lot of powder and fine grit that comes in the bag, so go ahead and rinse them off and make sure that you don't have any of that grit get into your hydroponic system, because it'll be hard, it'll start clogging things up. So rinse them off, use a filter, a sieve, just rinse them off in a bucket of water, just let that small stuff sink to the bottom, and now they're clean and they're just little clay balls. So we're going to bring this forward here, and we are going to fill our reservoir. So with our reservoir here, we have 2 gallons of water. Now to know how high or how much water is in it, there's a grate valve or a tube here that has a white line indicating the water level inside of the container. But you just can't use any kind of water, can you?
No, you can't. If you have city water, you want to use what's called reverse osmosis water, because that will get rid of all that chlorine. We have well water, so we're safe and ready to go.
Now, could you purchase distilled water and use? Could you can go to hydroponic stores and actually buy water designed for this if you don't have well water that you can use. So let's go ahead and add these clay pellets or balls here into our reservoir, or into our top holding tank here. And again, the system that we've got set up here, it explains it very easy through the book that Holly spoke about. All the way around. Now let's talk about the nutrients that we're going to have to add to this and how to check the pH level in our... So with adding the nutrients to the system here, this is the, I guess, turkey baster type of tool that comes with our pH test system that we're going to use to extract our nutrients. Now, when doing this, the most important part of this whole project is not to cross-contaminate our nutrients from bottle to bottle, because there's going to be a certain point where you're going to add more of one, less of the other, and we don't want to cross-contaminate. So we have brought 3 jars of clean water, and then once we get done with each bottle, we're going to rinse our bottle or our test or our turkey baster tool, I guess is what you would call it, and make sure there's no cross-contamination. Now, Holly, you're going to talk about the different type of nutrients that we're going to add to our water farm so our pepper plant will grow correctly.
Right, so we have these 3 different nutrients that came with our kit here. We have Flora Micro, Flora Grow, and Flora Bloom. And in our chart here, it explains how much to add per week. Since we're in week 1, it says for each of them 2.5 milliliters per gallon. Since we have a 2-gallon system, we're going to add 5 milliliters of each. And then we just read the chart as we go along week by week. And it's important to test because, as we spoke before, testing means the difference between life and death of your plants every other day.
Because unlike soil, in soil you've got microbial bacteria, you've got worms, you got all that stuff, you got rainwater, adding nutrients to the soil to keep that plant healthy. Here, you've just got the water, and if the nutrients run low or non-existent, your plant is just going to die. So it's one of those things that you want to be very, very careful with. So also with the chart, in anything we do in growing indoors, there's charts that will inform you of how much nutrients to put in your cocoa core, or in this instance the water farm, so you can get the best result. So we're going to go ahead and add our nutrients to our water farm, and then we're going to check the pH level to see where we end up at and see if we need to raise or lower, so our pepper plant is a happy pepper plant and not a dead pepper plant.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got our nutrients added to the system, and I'm just letting it run, turn the aeration on, just to let it mix in properly so we can run our pH test and find out how level of a pH we have. And we've added 5 milliliters of each of our nutrients.
With the Flora Micro, the Flora Grow, and the Flora Bloom.
Now, whenever we use our pH test kit that we've got with the system, and that's only for hydroponics. You can't take this out in the garden and use it that method in normal soil. This is just for water. They comes with a chart so you can see where you need to be or need to adjust to be.
And as the chart, it shows the color of what it's going to show you, and then it says 5.5 to 6.5 for.
So this has been running for a few minutes. Let's go ahead and shut it off, and then we will show how to properly test the pH in your water farm.
Now we're going to test our nutrients. So we just take our pH test indicator. We just add 3 to 5 drops. So let's see here. Okay, so we've let this get mixed up, and as you can see, it's green. That's not the ideal color. We've compared it to our chart here, and so we want it to be more in the yellow area. So it's too high. It's too acidic. So we want to add what's called pH down, which is the orange here. And we just add a little bit, and then give it a good mix up, and then we're going to test it again.
Yeah, just maybe a partial lid full. You don't want to dump a whole lot in there because then you'll have to add the pH up to get it back to where you need it to. So a little goes, little by little we'll figure this out, and we'll keep trying the pH level until we get it to that perfect consistency. So I'm just going to take and just pour a little bit in there, and we'll mix it up, and then we'll try it again and see what color we get now.
Okay, so we got ours to the yellow, and it took, first we had to add some up, then we had to add some down, and then, or we had to add some down, add some up, and then a little more up again. So we had to kind of balance it around and see, but as you can see, it's the color we want. It's ideal with the chart. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our pepper plant planted.
Alright, with growing in the clay balls here, there's two forms of starting your seeds. One, you can start your seeds in a medium called rock wool, which is they take rock and heat it up to a molten state and weave it together like cotton candy. The seed obviously starts, you just put the seed in the cocoa core, or they put the seed right in the rock wool, right in the clay balls there, and you're good to go. Or you can do like we have, extract the plant out of the soil, clean as much dirt off of the roots as you can safely, and we're going to plant it in the center of our water farm. Now the center being where this ring goes around, because the water is going to come out of this ring. We'll talk about that in a minute. So that'll be about right there. Alright. It's a little bit of a challenge to get it. We're going to gently caress it down there. Alright. Just want to hold that up while I add more of these. Alright, now we're going to level it. Now with this being not a soil medium or a coconut core medium, we can kind of bury it a little deeper because, and we also can pull these out. The roots will expand outward as well. So it would be interesting to watch how this grows in the clay balls here. Now we'll drop our cone down around the pepper plant. We're going to plug it in. Now this is going to take a little finessing on how your system is set up. Twist it here, push it there. But you can see there's holes around this ring which allows the water and the nutrients to drip down through the clay balls. And then there's holes perforated in this top portion of the bucket, falls back down and it cycles again. Now with the pH level and the nutrients, with a small plant the nutrients should be fine for about a week, maybe 2 weeks. With a large plant you're looking maybe a couple of days. So you want to be very cautious and aware of it and test it on a regular basis so that your plant will be successful. Now let's talk about the lighting that we have to apply for this pepper plant.
Now the lighting and the chart had indicated as well that for the first 3 weeks you give it 18 hours of light.
Which is what we've got our system set on right now. 18 on, 6 off on a timer.
Right, and then after 3 weeks then you go to 12 hours.
Now we want to make sure that the light goes off at 18 hours, but we don't turn the aeration pump off. That's pushing the air through and the water through. This stays on all the time, and on this particular model we have a high level and a low level of air pushing through. Right now we've got it set on high, and based on the plant's growth will determine whether or not we need to lighten the amount of air being aerated through the system. So we'll put it underneath our grow room light, and we will hopefully compare the pepper plant in our hydroponics to our smart pot pepper plant. I'm Joy Bear.
And I'm Holly Bear.
Thanks for watching. This has been Growing Indoors. For more organic gardening and food preserving, visit the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com.